In the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, and Lashwak Madash, being the Paleo Hebrew, Kahala Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ha Rakah Kodash. All honor to the Most High, all honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Bless your family and your friends on down. Brakatah, Amun, bless you. So, this is a book it's about Frederick Douglass. And there's just a lot, there's a lot to take in, So I'm going to get right into it. This guy was saying that he landed in Ireland 9 years ago. I had dressed in company with Father Sprout. You're not supposed to call any man your father. So this had to have been like a Catholic priest or something. And that good man, who has been recently made the subject of bitter attack. I allude to the philanthropic James Haunton of Dublin, a large meeting of a common people of Ireland on temperance. Never did human faces tell a sadder tale. More than 5,000 were assembled, and I say, with no wish to wound the feelings of any Irishman, this is it, the key point right here. Okay? That these people lacked only a black skin and woolly hair to complete their likeness to the plantation Negro. Mark 4 and 29. The open, uneducated mouth, the long, gaunt arm, the badly formed foot and ankle, the shuffling gait, the retreating forehead, and vacant expression. Harriet Tubman. And their petty quarrels and fights, all reminding me of the plantation and my own cruelly abused people. Yet, that is the land of Granton, of Curran, of O'Connell, and of Sheridan. Now, while what I have said is true of the common people, the fact is there are no more really handsome people in the world than the educated Irish people. The Irishman educated is a model gentleman. The Irishman, ignorant and degraded, compares in form and feature with the Negro. Remember? There's some Irishmen do have that hair like wool. I've seen them before. But this is just powerful. Okay? May not the condition of men explain their various appearances? Need we go behind the vicissitudes of barbarianism for the explanation of the gaunt, weary, ape-like appearance of some of the genuine Negroes? Need we look higher than a vertical sun and lower than the damp black soil, Jeremiah 14 and 2, they black onto the ground, of the Nigeria, the Gambia, and Senegal, with their heavy and enervating Missima, rising ever from the rank growing and decaying vegetation for the explanation of the Negro's color. If a cause full and adequate can be found here, why seek further? Let me see what we see right here. All right. Only about 1/5 of all the inhabitants of the globe are white. And they are as far from the Adamitic complexion as is the Negro. Remember, the first one formed of Adam was black. The remainder are what ranging all the way from the brunette to jet black. They are the red and reddish copper color, Native Americans, and yellowish, Bruce Lee, and dark brown, the chocolate color, and so on to the jet black. On the mountains of the north of Africa, where water freezes in winter at times, branches of the same people who are black in the valley are white on the mountains. The Nubian, with his beautiful curly hair, finds it becoming frizzled, crisped, and even woolly. Check my hair out. You know what I mean? My dad was black. Got a mark in my forehead according to Ezekiel 9:4. You know what I mean? It says something about the Jews right here too. Look. Jews who are found in all countries. Let me see. The Great Sahara. There's that movie with Matthew McConaughey. The Portuguese, white in Europe, is brown in Asia. The Jews who are to be found in all countries, never intermarrying, are white in Europe, brown in Asia, and black in Africa. Black Jews, Ethiopian Jews. Here's that movie, Adam Sandler was talking with one of the Celtic players, and I forgot what the movie was called, but he asked, have you heard of the Ethiopian Jew? The Ethiopian Jews. You can look them up. Okay, again, what does it all prove? Nothing, absolutely. Nothing which places the question beyond dispute, but it does justify the conjecture before referred to. The outward circumstances may have something to do with modifying the various phases of humanity, and the color itself is at the control of the world's climate and its various concomitants. It is the sun that paints the peach, that may it not be that he paints the man as well. My reading on this point, however, as well as my own observation, have convinced me that from the beginning, the Almighty Yahweh, within certain limits, endowed mankind with organizations capable of countless variations in form, feature, and color. Okay, Revelations 2:9, 3:9, and then Jeremiah 14:2. There's many scriptures on it about the color. The Negroes being. We ain't Africa. We went through captivity in Africa without having it necessary to begin a new creation for every new variety. I just want to point this out. They said no wish to wound the feelings of any Irishman. That these people lacked only black skin and woolly hair to complete their likeness to the plantation Negro. So that's the main point right there. And look at the complexion of Gad. It goes deep. It goes deep. This book's heavy. So I wanted to point that out. I got chills just bringing that out. Frederick Douglass. So, let's see. What if the Negro may not be able to prove his relationship to Nubians, Abyssinians, and Egyptians? What if indigenous men are able to find plausible objections to all arguments maintaining the oneness of the human race? What, after all, if they are able to show very good reasons for believing the Negro to have been created precisely as we find him on the Gold Coast along Senegal and Nigeria, Well, you got Nigeria, you know what I mean? I say, what of all this? A man for all, a man for that. I sincerely believe that the weight of the argument is in favor of the unity of origin of the human race or species, that the arguments on the other side are partial, superficial, utterly submersive of the happiness of man insult and insulting to the wisdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the living God. Yet, what if we grant they are not so? What if we grant that the case on our part is not made out? Does it follow that the Negro should be held in contempt? Does it does it follow that to enslave and to imbrute him is either just or wise? I think not. Human rights stand upon a common bias, and by all the reason that they are supported, maintained, and defended. For one variety of the human family, they are supported, maintained, and defended for all the human family because all mankind have the same wants arising out of the common nature, 9 to 5 job. A diverse origin does not disprove a common nature, nor does it disprove the united destiny. Revelation 2:9-3:9, Ezekiel 31:31. The essential characteristics of humanity are everywhere the same. In the language of the eloquent, remember, wisdom entered into the dumb and made us that could not speak to speak eloquent, We're seeing some flash up here. Boom, boom. That's what enslaved us. You know what I mean? And now we're coming up out of the lies, because you go to the Strong's G of Synagogue, you'll find Christian church, okay, in the synagogue. That's why our body is the church, And as a body of people, they enslaved the house of David, okay? Look at this, okay? Right, but when the Native Americans converted to being Catholics, they were slaughtered. They were genocide. That's why we're not falling back into the same ways, man. Judges 10:14 on down. No matter what complexion, whether an Indian or an African sun has burnt upon him, his title deed to freedom, his claim to life and to liberty, to knowledge and to civilization, to society and to Christianity. We know that this is why they formed Christianity, is because to be a Christian means to be a follower of the Most High God, and His Son are just and perfect, which is, the Hebrew Israelite is above that according to Deuteronomy 4. Okay, are just and perfect. It is registered in the courts of heaven, and it is enforced by the eloquency of the God of all the earth. Our God made the heavens and the earth. Okay, I've said that the Negro and white man are likely ever to remain the principal inhabitants of this country. I repeat the statement now to submit the reasons that support it. The blacks can disappear from the face of the country by 3 ways. They may be colonized, they may be exterminated, or they may die out. And what are they doing? This is what they've been doing. Colonization is out of the question, for I know not what hardships the laws of the land can impose, which can induce the colored citizen to leave his native soil. Remember, this land was promised to us, okay? Just like the Native Americans here, those were our brothers, and they were slaughtered, okay? Copper colored, He was here in its infancy. He is here in its age. 200 years have passed over him. His tears and blood have been mixed with the soil, and his attachment to the place of his birth is stronger than iron. It is not probable that he will be exterminated. 2 considerations must prevent a crime so spinduous as that: the influence of Christianity on the one hand, and the power of self-interest on the other. And in regard of their dying out, the statistics of the country afford no encouragement for such a conjuncture. The history of the Negro race proves them to be wonderfully adapted to all countries. Remember, we were scattered all over the world, all climates and all conditions. This is why they wanted to sell us. This is why they did it, though. They studied us. Their tenacity of life, their powers of endurance, their malleable toughness would also would also would almost imply a special interposition on their behalf. The 10,000 horrors of slavery, you know, striking hard upon the sensitive soul, have bruised and battered and stung, but have not killed. The poor bondman, Baruch 2 and 14, and Baruch 4:14, the poor bondman, Isaiah 14, that bondage, you read that bondage, about that bondage. The poor bondman lifts a smiling face above the surface of a sea of agonies, hoping ever. His 20 brother, the Indian, dies under flashing glance of the Anglo-Saxon. Not so the Negro. Civilization cannot kill him. He accepts it, becomes a part of it. In the church, he is an Uncle Tom. In the state, he is most abused and less offensive. All the facts of his history mark out for him a destiny united to America and Americans. Now, whether this population should by freedom, industry, virtue, and intelligence be made a blessing to the country and the world, or whether their multiplied wrongs shall kindle the vengeance of an offended God. Deuteronomy 28. That's why we went through slavery. Would depend on the conduct of no class of men so much as upon the scholars of the country. The future public opinion of unanimous or mean must redound to the horror of the scholars of the country or cover them with shame. For our shame, we're going to have double. But there is one safe road for nations and for individuals. The fate of a wicked man and of a wicked nation is the same. Revelations 13 and 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with a sword must be killed with a sword. Remember what Matthew 23 is talking about. The Most High is coming back for all that bloodshed that they did. Okay, this place is cursed because how many they was slaughtering our people, man. Our people was just going through straight hell. Okay. So the flaming sword of offended justice falls as certainly upon the nation as upon the man. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the Most High God, has no children whose rights may be safely trampled upon. The sparrow may not fall to the ground without the notice of his eye, and men are more than sparrows. Now, gentlemen, I have done. The subject is before you, and shall not undertake to make the application. I speak as unto wise men, wise counsels. I stand in the presence of scholars. We have met here today from vastly different points in the world's conditions. I have reached here, if you win pardon, the egotism by little short of a miracle, at any rate. A stranger. It just goes into, you know what I mean? There's just some powerful things in here, The shame of slavery, Yet this I can say, as a denizen of the world and as a citizen of a country rolling in the sin and shame of slavery, the most flagrant and scandalous that ever saw the sun. Whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report. Revelations or Isaiah 53, verse 1. Good that report. And there's another scripture about um the elders received a good report. If there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. Okay. It's deep. I don't want to go in on all this, but this book's very deep right here. We just realized what it was really doing. All right. Just want to point that out because they used the Bible to fight back in the day.